All right, hello everyone. Welcome. It's me, your best friend, Chrono JJ. Watching some more Athenian League action, still in the quarterfinals. We are in the second to highest tier, which is the Mythic tier. A good match we've got against a DuckNugget, trademarked, and Dexito. Um, so, pretty decent players here. I've played DuckNugget a few times in the rated ladder, and we've always had some pretty decent matches. Dexito, I'm not so familiar with. I don't think I've ever played a game with Dexito. Um, Dexito is the number 2. DuckNugget is the number 3. And we've got a red player up here in the top, Isis. A little bit of Egyptian action. I haven't seen a lot of Egyptian. And down on the bottom is DuckNugget with Freyr. We've seen a lot of Norse, a lot of Freyr in the Athenian League. Seems to be getting a decent number of wins, so not a bad idea. However, it is a little strange to see DuckNugget playing as Norse because he primarily played Greek in the regular season. Dexito played a little bit of like everything. Dexito seems to be a bit of a random god player, which certainly benefits in this tournament a little bit, where you can't, once you win with a god, you can't repeat with that god. Our first map is the Unknown, which seems to be, yes, a fairly standard land map. Got the ring of trees around the outside, and then kind of got 2 big cliffs on the edge, and then it's kind of an interesting little watery forest, like hodgepodge here in the middle. And then 2 very forward middle of the map. Each player does have a very safe back gold mine. Is my chat working? Last time I streamed, I had quite a few errors. Like my stream kept cutting out and disconnecting, and I'm not sure why. Hopefully that was just like something that night, and we're not having problems again tonight. We have an early town center grab, it looks like. Looks like Dexito is assuming the enemy Freyr will be fairly defensive, which is a good plan because, after all, we already saw that the Asgardian hill fort was being built, so pretty natural for you then to build your hill fort and then try to build an army. I really like this wall here. This is a really nice wall. Basically cuts off this entire half of the map. If he really wanted to. Now, doesn't know about this tree line here, but could wall this off as well. And really cut Dexito off. I would wall this 100% if I'm DuckNugget. And DuckNugget does see the town center and gets a nice lucky pick on the priest here. We have a... Ooh. He wants this relic. Armor of Achilles, better hack armor for infantry. It's right here. Take it. You're gonna have a lot of infantry. This is a relic you need to look at. You need to get. That's a nice one. What do you do here as DuckNugget, who is building an army? We can see at the top that Dexito is not building an army, but instead is very happily grabbing resources. This should not be happening. The second town center grab, actually a little risky with how little food there is. There's no back food. I don't know why DuckNugget is not pressuring the food here. Like, Dexito is really getting away with it, while DuckNugget is just sitting back building houses. And that's it. I mean, you gotta think about the map and kind of keep an eye on this. You know the town center's here. You gotta think that he's trying to grab the hunt there. Instead, just sitting here building buildings. Which, if you're going to look at this from like a strategical standpoint, what DuckNugget is doing just doesn't. Well, maybe he's trying to lull Dexito into a. That could be it, actually. Oh, this is a really nice timing for this raid here. He's probably trying to not do any pressure so that Dexito doesn't know what's going on, and has to be careful not to lose on the back end. And we've got two of our classical age portable rams. I like to see this. You don't see this a lot. Portable ram is unlocked with Yidalier or something. And we'll just kill the town center. So maybe I was chewing DuckNugget out a little bit too early. I think DuckNugget was actually trying to lull Dexito into like kind of think he was safe. Let's see. My chat is being silly. So you build a town center for a 6 villager lead. Did lose some here. We'll want to come back to this gold mine. Do we have Dexito's raiding units anywhere back? No, they all came to save the base. So nothing forward. Our Pharaoh here is Rat Jammer. And DuckNugget feeling like he did the damage that he needs to and is now falling back. Doesn't want to hit his head against the base here, which isn't a bad idea. Does DuckNugget know about the back gold mine? Sees his, so should naturally believe that there is a gold mine in the back. And hello, Skirner. Hope you are okay. Villagers are coming back to gather the hunt yet again. Very strange. Why did they come back here? Oh, they were the villagers that were here that moved to here and then moved to here. I'm good. Had a very busy weekend of work, so I've got some time off, or days off the next 2 days. So I got a little time to do some casts, and then actually in about 5.5 hours, I actually have my tournament match. We'll see how it goes. It's gonna be tough. I just don't play enough different gods at a good level. We will kill a house and lose a spearman. Grabbing the town center. Ooh. About 4 a.m. Seize the town center here. It's now built. Wants to wall this off. My favorite god is, I definitely have the most fun with Poseidon. Hence I play Poseidon the most. My second favorite god, ooh, I don't know. Not sure. I don't really enjoy Egyptians very much in Retold. The units just aren't fun. Like Rod's Mignol units in the original game were fun to use. They were fun to play with. Now I don't. They aren't very fun anymore. They're just kind of blah, and then I don't know. It's just not as fun. I kind of like Shenong a little bit. Like I don't mind the Chinese. The Chinese are pretty solid. DuckNugget is playing very passively after destroying the town center here. Probably feels like he's pretty safe because having this town center in the middle of the map, he has the itchy nose. Has a Golem Bursty that he can kind of cast whenever he wants. If siege works, siege is very strong right now with the changes to it. Kind of hard to kill siege. It's kind of funny to see how siege has changed over the different iterations of Age of Mythology. Where like in original AOM, we're talking vanilla AOM, Siege was really good because no units got attack bonuses against it, which then what you got was like mass Heliopolis armies and a lot of siege towers. Then the Titans introduced attack bonuses for like units like the Spearmen and the raiding cavalry and such against Siege, and the Villagers was a huge one.
Into you.
And then Retold took away at launch all of the attack bonuses against Siege except for your Villagers, and then has recently now removed the Villagers buff against Siege. Kind of hand in hand with buildings getting stronger, let's make Siege stronger. Gonna fight over this gold mine here, as neither player really has... Ooh, losing a lot of Hersia here. Neither player really has a lot of scouting. You might need to cast snakes on this. And plenty of gold mines to fall back to, so this is not any sort of disaster here for DuckNugget. Probably wants to hold on to the boar if he can help it. There's only one tower here, and the tower is just getting sent in by itself, so yeah, that kind of eliminates any need for the pig. So just fall back. You've got 2 Asgardian forts. There's no point in fighting forward. Just control the middle of the map. Probably grab this town center as well. And then likely looking pretty good outside of maybe like a huge meteor from Dexito, who is not close at all to meteor. Eco upgrades, just pickaxe for DuckNugget. I hope I see more eco upgrades being Frere. Gotta get cheaper upgrades. Yep. Yeah, but see, that's kind of why I like Young Oath. That's kind of why I like Shinong, is, you know, Poseidon's kind of my just very fast, mobile army, kind of all in, and then Shinong is just a little bit more slow-paced. Battering rams batter the siege away. So, you know, it's kind of the yin and the yang, kind of mix it all together. And Dexito is having a hard time figuring out how to cut through this. And DuckNugget is wisely falling off the map here. You know, she really should get that first wall upgrade. It's pretty cheap as Frere. Ooh, 28, 23. Heal it. 19. No, don't stop it. Oh, 11 hit points. Just does barely get in. This is a really awkward wall here. I don't like this wall. It just does not allow for easy passage. And when you have a... Oh, you don't want to fight this. Get out of here. If you're DuckNugget, there's no need to fight this. There's the pig. Come in and save the day, but maybe didn't need to fight quite that far forward with the units. But man, these medium Huskarls are doing some damage here. But really, I almost could see... Oh, don't fight the pig! What are you doing? Dexito, go back! The pig is nothing to... Oh, man, that was a costly mistake there. Going forward like that. Now, isn't there a tech that allows these things to heal? Enable hearing. Right now, you really want this Feast of Renown upgrade. I mean, this makes this center area just such a healing frenzy here. Very, very aggressive Migdol. The Pharaoh is not empowering the Migdol. And I just don't think that Dexito really has the military to fight this. We now have Tempest coming in, which will clear off the military there. Didn't really need to use Tempest, but DuckNugget's in such a good spot here. Just played a pretty methodical, careful game. Really punished the early town center grab with a really nice kind of surprise attack. But yeah, you kind of would have liked to have seen Tempest get saved for like now as opposed to down here, and kind of allows Dexito to defend that attack for now. And with today being 22nd, we've got almost just a full week before Japanese comes out. These 4 rams should be strong enough to take down this town center while the rest of the units fight. The slingers are not slinging at the axemen very well. The rock giant here is tanked just a lot of damage. And yep, down goes the town center behind this. And we've now got a ram soaking up some damage from these unupgraded slingers. But DuckNugget does fall back. Has quite a bit of resources in the bank. But hasn't quite gotten that win. But let's take a look at Dexito. Got 15. Oh, it snuck a gold mine over here. This is a very unnecessarily early camel caravan gathering 12 gold. Try to build this Migdal and this Migdal. So that's what, 1100 gold just thrown into this Migdal right now. And DuckNugget as the 16 villager lead, grabbing another town center in the middle. So looking pretty good for DuckNugget in what is a slow-paced game. Ram coming over. I think knows that there's some walls over here that are being a little bit annoying. So it's coming over to kind of see what's going on. And will now attack that wall. Well, yeah, the walls do. It's almost like they want to be like a sand dune. Like this is what you'd see like on a sand dune a little bit on the edge. So kind of just an odd looking cliff. You're right, it's a little bit, but I don't know, I kind of like it. But yeah, kind of a weird looking cliff. I don't know if you really see cliffs looking like this anywhere. Maybe out west. Kind of like your sculpted rock kind of cliffs, but I don't know. I don't know what Dexito is going to do here. This is quite the fortress. I mean, there's really no point in pushing in heroic age into this. It's just asking for trouble. You really, surely you have to wait with how like tight all of these buildings are. Surely you have to do a meteor play. But we have Vidar up first. Here comes the big wolf. It's a bit of a clumsy god power to use. It comes running by and well, knocks some units this direction, but mostly missed. Really nice split here from Dexito. The wolf is one of those, it's such a cool god power, but really requires a fine touch as we see a big fight here with kind of our remaining units, but just not enough units for Dexito, who is just falling further and further behind. That's decent upgrades, but you're going to start seeing a ton of upgrades coming in for the old DuckNugget. And DuckNugget, being the underdog coming into this, will likely win this game. Yeah, the Inferno was a little underwhelming. Come on, Rat Jammer, get out of there. No. Look out. He's gone. And that's it. GG DuckNugget TM. Gets our first win of the series. It is a best of 5. Let us get DuckNugget the win. 1. Look at our games. Our game here. Early villager lead, but then loses a few on that attack. Loses the town center. Probably not worth it in the end. Economy caught up there for a bit, but it's never quite found a way into the game here. That early town center grab was maybe not the play with just how much was in the middle of the map. By taking this town center, kind of just give up everything here, and probably not the thing to do. We'll move on to game 2. Yes, I would very much like to load that file. Game 2 looks like it's Oasis, so this would be a Dexito home map. Has switched over to Odin against DuckNugget's Thor. So this is crazy. DuckNugget like barely played anything except Greek in the regular season and is now switched over to Norse. And Dexito played just a bit of everything. So you have Dexito on the right as Odin, taking advantage of Odin on what is normally a fairly low hunt map, being Oasis, and DuckNugget is Thor. It is Thor going for an early armory build. It does not look like it. We have our first relic, which is Tail of Cerberus. Myth units use their specials faster. And oh, look at this. This DuckNugget has got some swag here with the curvy temple. No, this should be a wall. You should wall this so you can get through. Now you're just cutting yourself off from part of the map. And we have double Frere. Both players age up at about the same time. And we see Dexito coming forward looking. 8 goats to 12. So a little bit better for the old ducky. Bell comes in, looking for something to hit. Just a spying. Oh, watch out for the Herseer. Ingvar the far-traveled. And Harold Greycloak. This Valk is kind of getting herself stuck. She needs to get out. Get out of Dodge. There we go. Have Forest Fire used by DuckNugget. Very strange that Dexito does not have any... Ooh, nice block there with the Asgard, whether it was intended or not to... I think it is. Oh, haha, the Oxcart getting in the way. Oh! Whew, they cannot walk on hot coals. That does more damage. Like, it's very easy to forget how much damage Forest Fire does to units walking on it. It'd be nice if there was a little more, like, of a visual clue that your units are getting burned to a crisp. Like, if, like, maybe like, a big fire, like, erupted around them or something. I like the placement of the ravens here. Though maybe it would just be better just to put one here and one here, because you know you're kind of trying to keep an eye on if DuckNugget ever leaves the base this way. But I think you could maybe place this one just a little bit better, like right here. Keep an eye on the gold mine and this route, and then just put the other one like right here, and then you can kind of see any of these forward forays across the map. But kind of stinks to lose those first 2 Herseer like that if you're Dexito. Now, when you run out of your zebra here, you have a question that you need to ask. Is do you come forward to the hunt? Do you stay in your base? I think here you stay in your base. You minimize against an opponent that can do a lot of mobility things, like which Norse can. I think you really want to minimize the possibility of... You want to remove your vulnerable spots. So you don't come forward, you stay in your base, you eat up all your hunt and food in the base. Hopefully by then you have kind of stabilized on the map. Though currently right now they're all just sitting there, so it's forgotten. But yeah, like what I would do here for Dexito is I think you could pressure this pretty well, especially with the Forest Fire, where you could almost kind of use the tree as like your like almost forest fire this and then use the trees to kind of run here and run there to get some damage on these units. But he goes forward, and I think this is a big mistake. I think it's very, very risky here. We do have the temple getting attacked over here. And DuckNugget will come over to defend, but still have a forest fire as well that you could use. I don't know if you would use it here. I don't know why you wouldn't turn and fight. You have the numbers. Like, yeah, if I'm either player here, I'm sitting in my base and being aggressive with my army and not coming out like this yet. It's just a little risky. I think you hope that you stay in your base so the enemy comes out and then you can kind of run around the map. Get the 5 raiders. See, here's where I would see these raiders coming in, and I would send just a few infantry up here and come forward with the entirety of my army and get in on this. Just forest fire to get through pretty quickly right here and be aggressive, because essentially this kind of stuff here really isn't a beneficial like trade for you. You're, as Dexito, you're putting in what, 15, 20 raiding cavalry to chase 6, so like you're kind of losing out as far as the military trade in a way. Where you have the superior army, but it doesn't really matter because they're just chasing. Dexito's really getting away with this. Like, all it takes is just one check from some raiders to come out here and to kill just a lot of villagers. Both players are really walling up. You can't forget this corner over here, though. Like, DuckNugget knows they exist, like, knows the food exists there. Trying to go for a bit of a trap, maybe, play here with the spearmen and the raiding cavalry. These units might have a hard time getting out here. Oh, kind of missed the garrison micro. But yeah, it ends up losing 3, 4, 5 raiding cavalry on that. And that's kind of the danger that you run into if you dive deep into the base, where that was not worth it for Dexito, who still has the military advantage, but just not doing anything with it. See, this base is just so awkward to maneuver here. I like how the raiding cavalry couldn't fit here, but the skinny little guys could. What are we casting? We are casting DuckNugget versus Dexito in the second tier, second to the top tier of the Athenian League. Game number 2 in this best of 5. And DuckNugget is aging up, so just wants to kind of stall out here. Dexito, for some reason, breaks through and then falls back. Dexito's had the military advantage now for several minutes. It just hasn't done anything with it. And DuckNugget is just kind of happily enjoying a smaller army and a quicker age up. Grabbing a town center, very forward against a frost. I mean, I guess you could force out a frost, and do you lose a town center for a frost is probably worth it. I do like the retreat walls that we have up here for Dexito. Would maybe be good to finish off down here. But yeah, I think that's kind of what Dexito is thinking, is I will force out the frost on my forward town center, allowing me to defend later. The units come in to get a bit of scouting and find out, oh, this is what's going on up here. And yeah, I would be very tempted by if I were DuckNugget, is to launch an attack right here, right now, and get at this town center with Frost having aged up first. This is like the most passive Norse war I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Still do have forest fire. There's some it does give some flexibility here when it comes time to attack, where you just burn a tree line and come right through.
Yo.
Yeah, DuckNugget maybe is not making herdmen because of how many throwing axemen he sees. But, well, actually has some herdmen. And right now, all of a sudden, Dexito is out of position. Might have to... Nope. Need to put more walls on this. Surely they just trade. Yeah, Red should not be fighting this. They're down a an upgrade here. You're right. But maybe? I mean, you have defender's advantage here. You have just it's closer than it probably should have been, but yeah, it looks like Red is yeah, these armies are both really close. Does not have... If you're in a Norse war, let's pause for just a sec. How do you not have your armor upgrade? You've got your shields. Where's your armor? And this guy's got bronze armor and Huntress axe. Oh, get at the just get at the... There's only... There you go. Okay. Maybe fall back. Both players really holding on to their frost. Where's Red's Frost Giant? Could really use the Frost Giant, but looks like he's going to just give up. Oh, now garrisoning says that he's... do you frost? Surely you don't frost. It's too late now. Frost Giant's a little late to the party. You don't want to lose the Frost Giant. Yeah, it's so weird that you would... Like, you could even visually see that you're down a line upgrade. Which, what is it now? 15 and 10%? 15 and 15. You're down 15%. HP and armor. And, yep, an extra range. And you can see that. So if you have a god power that lets you pause, like literally that's just what Dexito needed, was just a pause in order to catch up in techs. And now instead of getting techs, Dexito has to put all the resources into reinforcements, and that's not going to work. Might lose some villagers here. Let's see what DuckNugget's looking at. Yeah, it does barely spot it. They'll probably all die with a good surround here. Yep. Really no reason for them. I mean, it's kind of a mistake that doesn't really matter anymore because the game's basically over. It's hard to come back from something like this, but you know, there's no need for them to be chopping here. You're just kind of setting yourself up for heartache. But yeah, you hate to be essentially in a lost game when you have two god powers still sitting in your pocket. 4 upgraded frost giants. That will be a problem. There are almost no heroes here. Will be a problem. Got the raiding cavalry just hitting some walls. Trying to wall up here. It's not wanting them to get through as we have the frost giants are just, there's just nothing that Dexito can really do against this. So, I mean, you send in your old Jarl that you think can maybe counter them, but they don't take any less damage, and then they just get frozen. We've got just a massive raid in the back, and DuckNugget is looking really good. We get a frost on the front, but this is actually what matters. Maybe a little bit more. We do get pushed away by the spears, but I think it's a little too late because now after this... See, now, like in this situation, the pause just doesn't matter. Because you're not catching up in a minute. And yeah, that's GG. Well played to the DuckNugget. Dexito just a couple poor choices here, which really cost him. And you know, the Age of Mythology is kind of one of those games where if you can do a lot of things right, but if one thing that's really important you screw up, you're just done. And that was the case here. Like, had a larger army this whole time, never did anything with it, and then just fought behind in techs while having frost. I can understand if like you didn't have frost and you're like, I have to fight this, I have to save, I can't lose this position. But to fight that fight with frost in your pocket is just a little bit unusual to me. Because Dexito's ahead in economy, in a decent spot, really. But did not do what Dexito needed, and DuckNugget with a very quick 2-0 win here, our 2-0 series, looking for, so we're all of a sudden after our third game in match point. We do have 5 games here. There may or may not be 5 games, so this does not indicate any spoilers. As we get into game number 3 here on Alfheim, it looks like we've got DuckNugget, another Norse, Loki, Dexito as Thor on the bottom. Got Loki as used spy on a villager just to kind of see what's going on in the base. I'd rather it be saved for like the initial army. And oh, whoa, let's slow this thing down. We are seeing a very, very aggressive Loki here, who is aged up before the Freyr is even clicked the button. That is scary. Really wants this house finished. I don't know if that house will get finished. This is a really slow age up. That's a bit risky given you're playing against Loki. And yet we are losing the house. We may be oh, the Gatherer lives. Are we losing the temple too? Ouch. Surely you repair this, don't you? You can't lose this. Ooh, this is a disaster in game 3 for Dexito. What do you do here? Oh me, oh my. You still have the pig. But I think probably trying to save the pig in order to get the gold mine back. We have forest fire being used. Yeah, we have the eco ups, but it's so very... Ooh, now this is... Oh, I would not have. Did not need to use the pig there. The temple was going up anyway. This was not a good use of the pig. You really needed that pig for when you were going to have a big fight that's coming up on your gold mine here. So, not a good use of the pig. Because you've got a forward gold mine. You can't use it there. If you're going to hold it for so long, why use it there? But that's kind of the benefit that you lose or gain, depending on which side you are, when you're aggressive, is that the opponent who's under the stress will have the tendency to make poor decisions in the stress. And we see these 4 units coming in, but they are spotted. And these units will just move over to the other side. We have a throwing axeman that has gotten a little too far forward and will just die just because. And then the Herseer decided oh, why won't you fight the Herseer? It's almost dead. Valk is coming in. We have a throwing axeman, and well, somehow, some way. Oh, no. Okay. Somehow, some way, will Dexito defend this? Your throwing axemen here are really valuable because there is no what's the new building? I don't even know what the new building is called. Great Hall. There's no Great Hall, so there's no cavalry. So like full throwing axemen here, it kind of just wins until there's a Great Hall on the board. So somehow Dexito has kind of survived this, it looks like, and picking off a few villagers here. The Herseer is apparently really wanting to get in the trees, and that does not work. And now we'll maybe come forward. No. Yes. No. Attack the building. See what's happening. And it can't fight this. Dexito is, despite the disaster of a start, Dexito has defended this and is behind 7 villagers, though. Oh, Dexito's not making villagers. Oh, man. Not making villagers. Now he's making villagers. I think maybe has been idle since the age up, possibly. Or maybe made like 1 villager and then the auto queue was turned off. That's unfortunate because probably could have come back into this because didn't lose 9 villagers. We have a couple iron jars. So still a fight where some good micro can really help Dexito here. Your Valk is worth a lot. So if you're Dexito, you really have to feel like, well, I was not making villagers. I have to fight a fight or something. Because as time goes on, you're just going to fall further behind this tower as well. I mean, I guess here, but you're gonna need to get up to this gold mine here next. And Dory, appreciate your support. 121. Is it 121? It is 121. Of our tower. Do you try to put up another one? Maybe kill this for the line of sight. Surely you have to get all in on this gold mine, right? Do the tower upgrade here? Do we lose villagers? Gotta pay attention to that mini map. And 1 villager. At the end of the world. Probably should have done forest fire here with the raid. I think you maybe would have killed all the villagers. Oh, you want your Valk through. Get on this. Trying to get as much damage as possible. See, these berserks are kind of some dead weight here. Do have a lot of gold in the bank, so these dwarves don't have to come to the gold mine right away. Oh, there's no forest fire. What am I looking? Oh, sorry. I looked at the forest fire and it was the wrong thing. But this fight did not go well for Dexito. You got to be able to micro around all of the iron jar, and that's a little bit tough. Yeah, sorry, I'm a big dum-dum. This player has the forest fire. And now we see that Dexito is getting closed off of the map. Is 11 villagers down. Might have actually, if we switch to the other side, Dexito's villagers may have already snuck over on this side. Which DuckNugget may know that and is just trapping them in here. Oh, nope, they are not. I thought they would be over there. Trying to come forward with some towers. Still has 300. Did they just turn villagers into some berserks here? Getting some nice kills here, but we'll have to continually get nice kills for quite a long time. We have a tower built, and we're going to have to get on the tower or on the gold mine now. Let's use the villagers over here. DuckNugget is a very, very patient player. The 3 iron jar here without any heroes is going to be a problem for Dexito. Because how do you kill the iron jar? You have the forest fire. One, it's doing some damage, forces some repositioning here. But it's going to be hard to ever kill these iron jar. But now maybe you can micro and get on the throwing axeman. Just, you can't. Okay. Well, kills a lot of throwing axemen here. Wow, that turned out to be. Oh, they walked across the burning bush there. But you can't be fighting. You just need to, there's so few units here. Oh, bop all the villagers. This is as good of a fight as you're gonna get. You can't be running from that. If you're Dexito, you have to fight through this. You have to. You've got to fight it. I know it stinks, but just keep fighting this as long as you can. Get the throwing axeman. Just fight, fight, fight. There's a Valk coming out. The Valk will help with the iron jar. Get the 2 hearse here. Plug a couple away. Okay, there's 1 down. 2. Can they save it? You don't want to. No, you don't want to lose it. Heal it up. 10 hit points. No, back. All right, now the throwing axemen are on the wrong side. There's just no gold behind this for Dexito. He has nothing. That's the problem here. The resources are starting to plummet. 23 villagers to 47. Dexito, he kind of pulled this back as well as he could. Here come the villagers. I think they're trying to get around the wall here. And that's going to be probably about it. As now all the throwing axemen are cleaning up Red's units, and that is the end of Red's attempted foray out of the map. And wow, DuckNugget with a 3-0 series win here. Really, really well done. I actually really want to see. Yeah, so something happened where made a few villagers and then the auto queue got turned off. And for as bad as the start was, this kind of puts a nail in the coffin here where you just slowly hemorrhaging resources, like still almost even in resources, but should have been, a little bit ahead here to maybe be able to break out in that fight. At least have more food and wood at the disposal and maybe sell in the market initially for this fight. But well played by DuckNugget. That was a pretty dominating series win. We've now had two 3-0 series and two very close 3-2 series. So yeah, well, you know what? That does mean that I have time to cast another match. I'm going to turn this stream off and then be back in about 5 minutes to start up the next one. So don't go anywhere. Just consider this a commercial break. We will, however, give DuckNugget his third win. So that's important. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Another Athenian League cast. Bye.